and we'd like to give a special thanks to the candidates for coming out. This is a real busy month for them, as you know, and we're just pleased that they're here. I have some rules that I have to read. This is not a debate. It's a forum where the candidates can speak to you in their own format, get their message out, and in easy to understand language. So when you leave tonight, you should have a pretty good idea of what each one stands for.
Usual, I'm looking over to Gary and Dave. This is my fourth or fifth time out, and each time there's been nobody here but me. The sheriff was at the last one at the Big Voice Club. My name is Tim Roberts. I've been a police officer 40 years. I have state, local, and federal law enforcement. I started with Binghamton Police Department in 1969, stayed with Binghamton until 1979, went to the New York State Police, took that exam in March 17th, St. Patty's Day, 1973. 30,000 people signed up, 10,000 passed. I was number 491 out of 10,000 with a 91.875. That put me in the upper 5 percentile. Didn't pass the chief's test, but I passed that state police test. Worked for Village of Sherburne, Village of Norwich, Village of Deposit, and naturally the New York State Police. Military side of the house, I've been in the United States Navy, enlisted for 13 years, the United States Army, 21 years an officer. My unit was deactivated. I was the Provisional Provost Marshal at Fort Drum, New York. For those of you who don't know what a Provost Marshal is, that's the head of all law enforcement. It's like the chief of police. So I had a city, on the weekends that I was there, Fort Drum, 80,000 plus people. Why I want to be the Broome County Sheriff's Department. It's very hard to explain. There are some things that need to be changed. It's very hard running against somebody like Dave Harder. I've always admired him, and he's kind of, I don't want to call him an idolist, that's big enough, but he's just always been there. I just think at this time, he's still caught up in the 70s and 80s. We need to move on, and when the Voorhees report came out, it cited that there were some things wrong with the Broome County Sheriff's Department. One of them was they're still working on gut feeling and an antiquated system. What I mean by that is they need to get into a computer, CompStat. It's a mapping system. So anything that goes on in that county, whether it's drug activity in town of Union, prostitution in Windsor, it goes into the computers. Then you can take your assets and concentrate them towards the area that you're having problems with. What I would like to see, if I got to be sheriff or any other position there, would be a Citizens Police Academy. Let's not hide what goes on in the Sheriff's Department. They're basically a very sound police department. It just needs to be updated. They're doing everything right, but once again, it just needs to be updated. It's kind of hard, I have to think, because you pointedly can't point any questions towards anybody, so you just have to throw things out. Can we open it up to questions now?
We're going to do the question period after everyone's spoken. We'll have questions.
So we're going to be here for 2 hours. I got my 3-minute red card. Things that I would like to see changed, like I said, I would like to see that. I would like to see more community policing. What I mean by that, somebody asked me, said, actually it was a road deputy, what do you think about community policing, like SROs, school resource officers? Why mess with it? The state police know each other better, they have the assets. The SRO program is great for the New York State Police. It has a large patrol element. For the Broome County Sheriff's Department, community policing should start the day you go to work, you put your uniform on, and you're out there in the car. You're stopping people, talking to people. That's how you get the information. You develop informants. I don't see a lot of that going on. 1,000 ideas, and I don't want to shed a lot of them because we'll be grabbed up. But that's about all I have. At this point in time, there are a lot of things that need to be changed, but what I would like to see is an like a debate where we can engage each other in verbiage, where I can ask them questions and they can respond to me, because you people don't need to really know what we mean. You see that, I believe, when you see the questions that are fielded to us. That's about all I have. My name's Tim Roberts. I'm running as a working families. I got knocked out in the primary by, I hate to say Gary because I think there's outside factors, but now I'm running as a working families, and you can use me as a write-in also. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
The question is for candidate Tim Roberts. My property taxes may go up 6.5% this year. Who is going to pay for this computer system you desire? I can't absorb any more tax hikes.
I believe the county has a grant writer. See if we could get a grant for it. You're talking about what computer system?
I just read the questions.
I mean, also to me, Gary says they already have it in place. Is that correct? No, I didn't know they had one, okay? So it's not a question of wanting a new one that will do the math. They have one in place that already does it. Not being a member of the Broome County Sheriff's Department, I wasn't aware of that. I know the state has and Binghamton has. That would be my answer. If it's something that they need, don't tax for it, if there's a grant available for it.
My interpretation of the question is they're referring to Tim's remarks about buying the, what is it, SOR system?
SOR was school resource officer.
School resource, but there was some system you alluded that it would be good to have.
That was
No, I think that's what they're asking for. Well, let's just put it this way. I'll ask you a question.
Right, that's the computer system.
Okay, so there's the computer system. I wouldn't call it. Constant.
That's used for mapping.
Irregardless, if the county was to buy something, I think this is the question in general. If the county is to buy something, this woman doesn't want her taxes going up. How can we eliminate her taxes from going up? You mentioned grants. Is that feasible?
It all depends on what you're looking for. There's grants available for a lot of things, but if you're talking about putting another pot on the jail, I'm sure there's not a grant available for that.
All right. So I will move on and we'll end that by saying you would be up for going for a grant. You're not in favor of taxes.
Oh, absolutely not. That's on the webpage we talked about centralized booking is great. I mean, the only one that really makes out are the judges. But the thing of it is, it's expensive. It's not cost effective. You would have to have you can't put those prisoners in with anybody.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
Grants.
Okay, we're back to the sheriff. This one's for Mr. Roberts. It has been well documented that the Fiala administration has gone all out to assist Gary O'Neill in his campaign and has done nothing for you. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think it's a fair statement. When Gary announced it, the Hibernians, I believe, there was a picture of Barbara there with him. When he had a fundraiser of sort, I'm not sure exactly where it was. On his webpage, there's pictures of the county executive there with him. So yeah, I feel it's he was the chosen one. I guess that's a way of putting it. That's my initial feeling. At that time, we had Mr. Schaefer, myself, and Gary. There's three of us. I think he was the forerunner. That's my feeling. He was the one they wanted.
The next question is for candidate Tim Roberts. Over the years, the sheriff's office has been embarrassed by gross misconduct by some within the department. While the administration has taken swift and decisive action against some who have tarnished the badge, others were not disciplined at all. How will your administration address this issue?
One system in place. When I talked about it other times, I don't know if people were there, this is my fifth time out. There are people who are Teflon people, no matter what they do, it seems that they're not punished. It's kind of hard talking about a matter that hasn't come. There is a situation that is pending that when it does come out, I have nothing to do with it. But all I'm saying is, if I was the sheriff and somebody screws up, they're immediately probably going on administrative leave. And, it's going to be investigated immediately. If it's criminal, will be handled by the district attorney. If not, it'll be contractual, we'll handle it. But that goes for me, right down, one system for everybody. Sure. And Mr. O'Neill, right now I just don't think the time is right. They did a study back in 1972 and 73 when John Perhatch was the sheriff. He had Elder Pembridge, Leonard O'Day, all the old timers, and it didn't happen just due to the fact egos got in the way. O'Day said, I got 143 guys, the sheriff's got 39, this and that. And they had it right down to the weaponry, 911 consolidation, that type of thing. That's why it didn't happen. Everybody wanted to be the greatest of